Not coming, Surya.
Not coming, sir?
1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute. Share content.
Yes.
Yeah. 1 minute, just a minute.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, your screen has come.
Yeah. I'll open my PPT.
It is not saved as PPT, sir. Okay.
Pardon?
No, sir. Okay. It's okay.
I'm just opening the PPT.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are good to go now.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Put it on slideshow.
Okay. Yeah. I will do that. Full page.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
you got me?
Perfect.
Right. Now, you all know Sherlock Holmes and Watson. So Sherlock Holmes and Watson, they went camping one day, and they did a lot of hunting, and then came back in the evening, and then they pitched up a tent and had single malt whiskey, and then had some sandwiches, went off to sleep. Suddenly, Sherlock Holmes wakes up Watson. Watson, get up in the middle of the night. Watson gets up, and then Sherlock Holmes asks Watson, "What are you seeing? Look up. What do you see?" So Watson looks up and sees lot of stars. The sky is full of stars. So naturally, being an investigative mind, Sherlock Holmes asks Watson, "What do you deduce from it?" So Watson says, "Spiritually speaking, God is so magnificent. He has created so many stars. What a beauty it is. Astronomically speaking, he says, I see the Milky Way. And at the edge of the horizon of the Milky Way, I also see a couple of galaxies coming inside. And astrologically speaking, he says, the Venus is in an eclipse and it is not a good for us. And then he says, Sherlock Holmes loses his patience and says, "You idiot, Watson, tell me, don't you see our tent is stolen?" That is what he says. So the moral of the story is Watson looks at the stars, but Sherlock Holmes looks that his tent is stolen. Somebody has stolen this tent when they were sleeping, and he is worried about the tent rather than the beauty of the stars. So the same thing happens to a data analyst and to a corporate manager. So the data analyst looks at the stars, corporate manager may look at the business side aspect. So this is how the perspective of the data analyst, data scientist, they look at it differently, and the business perspective is looked at it differently from the CEO and the other senior officer. Now what we'll do is, as you can see from the screen, the manager is holding two things. One is the analytics part of it, the other one is the neural part of it. So it is the picture conveys the message that both data and the insights from the brain are equally important for the business. So let us get into the what we have in store for today. Learning outcomes on the session flow. The duration is 40 minutes. I'm just starting my timer right now. So I will spend about 40 minutes explaining that, and then it will be followed by a Q&A. And the learning outcomes, what will happen to you after the session is you will have a broad understanding of the technological context, because people are saying, why are so many people talking about analytics? It was not there when I studied. It was not there 5 years back. Why is it today? So we will discuss uh, lot of technological emerging technologies and what made this context today. The second one is key drivers of the analytical revolution. So what is driving this analytical revolution? Third one is, more importantly, for all the managers of Bhadrachalam and others, agnostic nature of analytics. Many people think analytics, oh, I am a psychologist, I'm a dog trainer, uh, I'm a banker, uh, I'm a artist, I'm a barman, I'm a sportsman. How does analytics help me? Okay, I just want to bring to your attention one fact. I would like you to watch a movie called Moneyball. I don't know how many of you have watched that movie, Moneyball. Moneyball is a movie which is based on a real story in United States of a baseball team, a very famous baseball team. It has used analytics and then taken all statistics of all the people, and then it has arrived at a solution. It is called prescriptive analytics. It is arrived at a solution and said, you hire these people and definitely you have an outside chance of winning the major league. It's an MLB, Major League Baseball. And 2 years back, Oakland Athletics, that is the team, they won the MLB, and it is like an equivalent of Bangladesh winning the World Cup. So that is the power of analytics. So it is very easy for me to take statistics of all cricket player and say the analytics may tell me you buy Virat Kohli or you buy Rohit Sharma, all top-notch cricketers, but that involves a lot of money. But what Oakland Athletics team did is their analytics team did is they bought the medium and lower medium cost at a cost at the least cost. They bought the players and they hit the turn. That is important. So it is a that is why it is analytics is agnostic. You can apply to any job that you are doing. Fourth one, the other outcome of this session is what are the various elements of analytics? By elements of analytics, what I mean is what is an operational analytics, what is a descriptive analytics, what is a diagnostic analytics, what is a prescriptive analytics. So these are all various kinds of analytics, and depending on the stage of the maturity. So I will also discuss about that. And then I will also spend some time on application of analytics in Industry 4.0. I'm sure you're all very familiar with Industry 4.0, but how does 4.0, how does it impact the analytics, and vis-a-vis, how does analytics impact the 4.0? And then lastly, I would like to wrap up this session with introduction to tools of analytics. So what I mean is there are many tools like R, Python, Tableau, Py. There are n number of tools. But the way I approach analytics is the tools are not as important as what is there in between your ears. The business perspective and the question that you ask is more important I am not undermining the role of the tools. Tools are always there. Many tools are there. But I would like to take up the simplest of tools because our Bhadrachalam managers and others are working in finishing house, they are working in pulp mill, they are working in many areas, may not have the exposure to mathematics, statistics, and business strategy. So the analytical confluence is the confluence of mathematics, statistics, and business strategy. So for people who do not know much of mathematics, for people who are not familiar with statistics, don't worry about it. You can still use analytics on your job because I will introduce you to a tool called Tableau, which is in the session number 2, not in this session, but I will tell you the configuration of Tableau, what you can do with Tableau, how do you download Tableau and use Tableau for analysis. So that is all what I'm going to do in this session today. And let us quickly go to the next slide. My Surya, that annotation is there. 1 minute. Okay. Right. Okay. So what is the session flow? Why has analytics assumed so much of importance? Then I will also discuss about 9 emerging technologies of 2021. So what is the technology before us? Then what is Industry 4.0? What is big data? And what are the 5 V's of big data? Because there is no analytics without big data. And there are 5 characteristics. All characteristics start with the letter V. What are the 5 V's of big data? And then journey from metrics to analytics is one more thing. How do we go from metrics to analytics? Then, as I have told you, asking the right question. I will also spend some time on what is the link between the right question and the data sets. How do right questions lead to the preparation of data sets? And what are the 5 types of analytics? An introduction to tools of analytics, and lastly, and most importantly, how do I get started on analytics? So I know what are the concepts of analytics, but how do I get started on analytics? And how do I link my job efficiency with analytics? That is important. So let us go to the definition of analytics. Very simply put, analytics is a systematic computational analysis of data or data or statistics. It is concerned with the turning raw data into insights. So please remember, whenever somebody talks about analytics, how do you define analytics? Please remember there are a couple of important words. What is analytics? You simply need to say it deals with data and deriving meaningful patterns out of the data, applying insights to that meaningful patterns, and then ultimately arriving at better decisions or what you call informed decisions. Next. Now let us discuss. There are 9 technologies which are transforming the industrial production. So what are these 9 technologies? Quickly, I don't want to spend much time on these 9 technologies. You already are familiar with it. So these are advanced digital technologies. So all of the technologies that I'm going to discuss are with the digital technology. Everything to do with digital technology, which obviously is based on the fundamental characteristics of binary 0 and 1. Now, the first one is big data and analytics. Okay. Now, why is it called big data? It is called big data because the simplest definition of big data, many people will give lot of definitions of big data, but for you, the simplest definition of big data is a data which you cannot compress into your laptop, which exists out of your laptop. In other words, the data which you depend upon the cloud to draw it, to derive it, to design it, to organize it, and to bring meaningful patterns out of it. So simply, please remember, big data is something which you cannot fit into your normal laptop. These days, a normal laptop will have 1 TB. Okay, so you can, in a layman's word, you can say big data is something which is greater than 1 TB. Okay, so that is what it is. So big data and analytics is one important emerging or already emerged technology that we have. Second one is called the autonomous robots. Autonomous robots have come to stay, especially I do not know how many of you have gone to Jaipur and visited Honda City factory in Jaipur. You will be simply amazed when you walk into the shop floor, you will find robots like this assembling the Honda cars. And I physically counted, there were not more than 14 people on the shop floor, and countless robots are there. So apart from big data and analytics, autonomous robots are another important emerging technology. The third one is called the simulation. I don't want to spend much time on simulation, but it will be used more extensively to leverage the real-time data and mirror the physical world. So that is where simulation is used, and to a large extent, the Industry 4.0 is also using simulation. And let us look at the horizontal and vertical integration. So what is horizontal and vertical integration? Now, many people will say, oh, Industry 4.0, in Industry 3.0 itself, where there was PLC, oh, we used to deal with computers, used to deal with the programmable logic and all. But the whole difference today between Industry 3.0 and 4.0 is the horizontal and vertical system integration. In other words, it is more cohesive, cross-company, and universal data integration. Vertical involves your top management down to the shop floor, and the horizontal involves from the vendors up to the customer. So this is one more which is possible because of the digital revolution. Let us look at one more thing which is very, very important, which is at the doorsteps, the industrial Internet of Things. So IoT you all must have heard, but let us look at industrial Internet of Things, IIoT. So this is what you find, and it means that more devices, sometimes including unfinished product, will be enriched with the embedded computer. So what will happen is, with the advance of industrial Internet of Things, your shop floor will become more embedded technology, and it is not that we did not have. You look at our PM4 when we first introduced the DCS. It was an example, but that is a standalone. But today, the industrial Internet of Things will connect everybody, the people, the systems, and the technology, the machines, everything is interconnected. So we are all thinking, when will the 5G come? 5G is very, very important in India because 5G is a super information highway. The Internet of Things, you will really feel the impact of Internet of Things once the 5G comes into India. Now let us look at the cyber security. One more important thing in India, which will happen because we are relying on this so much of information, so much of data is generated. What will happen to the security of this digital data? That is important. So today cyber security has become very, very important, and your trade secrets, your manufacturing secrets, your financial data, everything is in the cloud. And how do you take care of the security of the data against the hackers and against the people who would like to steal your data? So that is one more important. The last thing I want to deal with it is the cloud. This is another important technology that is on us right now, the cloud. So gone are the days where we'll have our own servers and spend so much of money on the servers. But today, for a price, somebody is willing to host all your data. So this is one more technology which will have its implication on the big data and as well as on the analytics. The augmented reality is also will become real reality in very soon, where you can support a variety of services such as selecting parts in a warehouse and sending them for repair just on your mobile. Your people need not visit the vendors. Your people need not visit the customers, but this is an augmented reality, and all customer complaints can be handled by augmented reality. Now, let us look at we are talking so much on Industry 4.0. Where are we? If you ask me, a recent survey has revealed 65% of the Indian manufacturing industry are not even at 3.0, they are at 2.0. So you will be very surprised to know that. But we in ITC, thanks to ITC and other companies, like L&T and all, we are already into 4.0. But vast majority of the SMEs, vast majority of the companies in India are at 2.0. So they have to make a quantum leap to come to adopt 4.0. If you look at the screen, it will tell you where adoption of 4.0 is very, very widespread or prevalent. Customizable products. So those industries which manufacture prototypes, like the defense industry, so they are much ahead in 4.0. The second one is industrial product. Okay, and the third one is the materials part of it. And then the last one is food and beverage, FMCG and this one. They are around 32 to 28. So this slide tells us that there is a huge opportunity for data analytics because the industry is adopting 4.0. Now, I'll quickly go through this because somebody must have already covered this. So the first industrial 1.0 is the hydropower and fossil industries. The key driver was hydropower and fossil. And then the industry 2.0, invention of electricity and electrical energy and mass production. Go back to Ford Model T and assembly line. Industry 3.0 is telecommunication and PLC, which we are all familiar with. So from 3.0, let us look at the fourth industrial revolution. This is a picture of a shop floor there where we have visited there. And then the concept of 4.0, there are only three aspects that are involved. Number one, the factory becomes digital and flexible. It is not that we are not digital and flexible today. The fundamental difference between 4.0 digital and flexibility is we are all interconnected. When we are all interconnected, not only people, systems, and machines. Through cyberspace, we are interconnected. Second one is we will use lot of simulation tools and powerful data processing. And the third one is efficient factory regarding energy and so this is in a nutshell what is industry 4.0. And now let us discuss how does big data and analytics fit into 4.0. So what are the levers that we use in 4.0? Number one, connected sensors. Now these days, I go to engineering colleges and the wheel has become turned a full circle. Now gone are the days where the computer science, the other IT, they are no longer in great demand. You will be surprised to know today in premier engineering colleges, which subject which is coming back to light and which is being more sought after. You will be surprised that it is instrumentation technology, because the industry 4.0, which is very much dependent on IoT and IIoT, a lot will depend on instrumentation, because that will give you sensors, connected sensors. So industry 4.0 lever is connected sensors. Second one is big data, and the third one is predictive analytics. So that is the link between industry 4.0 and big data and analytics. We are glad that we have an industry 4.0 because we can put analytics to work. I like this quotation very much. So Abel said, when you look at industry 4.0, it is based on a logic of cyber physical systems, that is connected systems. That is to say, but whereas in industry 4.0, the data analytics will take into consideration the data, meaningful patterns, developing